Tonight's bedtime story is called Little Miss Splendid and the Present, read by the same artists. Little Miss Splendid was going on a long holiday. For the 100th time, she checked that she hadn't forgotten anything. Splendid! I have all my most beautiful jewels and my most very best shoes. For the 200th time that day, she checked that her outfit was perfect. Mirror, mirror on the wall, am I the most splendid of them all? Of course, her mirror didn't reply, but Miss Splendid was so enchanted by her reflection that she didn't notice. But before she went, Miss Splendid had one last thing to do. She had organized a grand farewell party, and she had invited all her friends. A party, grumbled Mr. Uppity as he arrived at Miss Splendid's house. Does she think she will miss her? Not at all. Good riddance. Oh dear. While Miss Splendid checked for the 300th time that day, 300th time that she was splendid, Mr. Greedy spotted the table of food. This food is disgusting, sniffed Mr. Uppity rudely. Would you like a cup of tea? Offered Mr. Tall. Ordinary tea? Certainly not, snapped Mr. Uppity. Miss Splendid appeared in a grand doorway and addressed the crowd. My dear friends, I am so sorry to be leaving you for a few days. It is the price one has to pay for fame. My beauty is known throughout the world, and it is my duty to let others admire it. Please don't shed a tear for me. To help you manage without me, I have had a splendid idea. Over to you, Mr. Strong. Ta-da! Nobody was impressed. Miss Splendid was far too vain and needed to be taught a lesson. Miss Magic had a plan. More splendid, commanded Miss Magic, and in a flash, where the statue once had stood, there was a mountain of miniature statues of Miss Splendid, and each one was identical. As you can imagine, Miss Splendid was furious that the statue she had designed had been changed. Marvellous, teased Mr. Tall. This statue will make a perfect doorstop. This will make an original garden gnome, chuckled Mr. Uppity, taking a miniature statue. I've been looking for a scarecrow, cried Mr. Small. At last the birds will stop stealing my strawberries. A doorstop, a garden gnome, a scarecrow, shouted Miss Splendid. Whatever next? Don't worry, giggled Miss Magic. I've had another idea. Double trouble, she shouted. Oh dear. And double there was. One Miss Splendid to go on holiday and one to stay at home. You look splendid, said Miss Splendid 1 to Miss Splendid 2. Almost as splendid as me. Time for one more story.